everyone, welcome back. I hope you're all doing really well, and I hope you're staying nice and warm for this winter season. I've got a fun video for today that I'm really excited about, and it's actually going to be a little different. I'm going to do kind of a twofer, and it's something that I said I would never do. I'm going to do the November 22 wrap-up, which was 17 books last month, as well as a little December TBR, which normally I don't do those because I have no idea what kind of mood I'm going to be in, what I'm going to want to read. But much like Halloween can't start without watching Hocus Pocus, I can't fully kick off the holiday, Christmas season without reading a certain book by Christopher Moore. So I know some of what I will be reading. And I'm staying nice and warm with my awesome mug. Dear Santa, don't forget the dog, because we all know doggies are my favorite. And I wish this was some eggnog, because that is definitely one of my favorite thingies, on top of my doggie that you can always count on little man to come visit. But I was baking cookies today, and you can't bake cookies without trying a few. So I've got some cinnamon apple spice tea that I absolutely love it. And it doesn't have all the sugar that eggnog has, because, some folks can have it. Me, I will get more than just a nice soft tummy for little man to sleep on. So I gotta watch that one. So I have my yummy, perfect for the season tea to keep me nice and warm. And there's no way I can remember what all books I read, so I wrote them in this cool little Harry Potter journal. So, yay, I'm having some fun. And, well, he's shrunk down to where you can't see him, but I still have my little man here. So, what do you say? Shall we get into it? And I will tell you some of the really awesome books to read, or some you might want to avoid in some cases. Because I read a little bit of everything last month. I've got some, fantasy, actually, quite a bit of urban fantasy. Some, young adult books, some James Rollins, nice thrillers, a kind of a historical almost murder mystery. Mwah! Yes, so I've got a little something for everybody, and my plans for next month include, thrillers, some comedy, some murder mystery that might also be a comedy, a little bit of everything again. So hopefully you will find at least one book that you're like, okay, I need to go read that, right now. So hopefully y'all will enjoy it. Because I started off the month being all nice and innocent and happy with my Disney, twisted Disney Ariel book, Part of Your World, by Liz Braswell. And that one, it wasn't my favorite book in the world, but it was by no means a bad book. It was kind of middle of the road, but it basically took what we think we know from watching The Little Mermaid a billion times, and completely, it didn't really twist it so much as jumped several years into the future, where Ariel is now queen as her sister's version of, punishing her for making their dad disappear. Because we didn't get the happy ending that they get in the actual Little Mermaid. No, this one starts off with, Ursula beat us, and Daddy paid the price, and I don't get my prince. He's still that little, seaweed little thing, and Ariel has learned that, hey, Daddy's not dead, and Ursula's, stealing him and keeping him captive. I'm gonna go to the surface and try to find him, and maybe get my hot prince while I'm at it. So, and of course, the plans do not go as planned. And so we get, the kind of sort of romance and almost friggin' murder mysteries again, because Ursula is, she's evil. She wants to play the victim, but she is enjoying being pure evil and plotting to take over not just the mermaids, but, the whole world. Thankfully, she's kind of been magically cut off, and she's not as genius as she thinks she is. So, I mean, if you're a big fan of Disney or The Little Mermaid, like this little man, then you definitely need to go check that one out. And the rest of the series, because Twisted Disney is, I think it's 14 books now, and they've got another one that's due out soon. And it basically pretty much every princess gets a book, and some of the others, like I know Peter Pan has a book, and I'm not sure if Pinocchio has one. But, I've read the Mulan and Aladdin. I know Tiana's got one. Yes. Rapunzel gets one, and she's friggin' awesome. And almost all of them are part of Kindle Unlimited. It used to just be, one or two, and they've slowly been adding all, but I think one of them is on there. I think Rapunzel's the one that isn't part of Unlimited at this moment. That can always change. And then the next book that I read was Apocalypse Atlantis, which is another Kindle Unlimited book. And this one is by J.C. LaBarge. And it was just I already did a review on this one, but it's fun. It's not, again, super amazing, but it was a really good, it's how does, World War II tie into Atlantis, ties into modern day Greece, and their kind of, caste system that they've got going on in this little small, fishing village. And this is basically, it starts off, we almost get two different books in one. We get one story that's talking about Atlantis while it's still going, and we see it slowly getting destroyed, vamping up to be murdered by a volcano, which of course they don't realize what that is. They think the volcano is just their god, and when it rains down on them, God is angry at us. So very old school, we don't understand science. It's gotta be the gods, kind of like Greek mythology and all the really fun old, I love mythology, and it's basically we don't understand the world, so we're gonna attribute it to sometimes multiple gods, and that in their moods, and that explains everything. So we've got that, and then we've got modern day. Our main character is an archaeologist that got his heart broken. It's all over the tabloids that supposedly he's just this drugged up frat boy, and every tabloid every week has a different story about him. And his brother's having fun going, "Hey, so nice to see you got out of rehab. Oh, hey, so that's where I was last month. Thanks." And it's just a running joke. It's not the respectable papers. No, it's all National Enquirer and stuff like that are running stories about him and nicknaming him. And we've got a few other characters who are like, are you good? Are you bad? Are you a double agent? We don't know. We know some of the folks that are, wannabe evil dictator, just pricks that think they rule the world because somebody, they stole a bunch of money and have passed it down through the family and kept the con man line going to increase the wealth. So they're untouchable until they aren't. And so, we get kind of a poetic justice ending that just pleases my evilish redhead heart. So if you want to go through a couple hundred pages and just, it's pretty good, and then just be really satisfied with the ending that's just, much needed, go check this one out. I also read multiple James Rollins novels. I started off with Unrestricted Access, which is an anthology of all of his, some of them unpublished previously or only put in other anthologies, short stories. Some of them, you can buy them as little Kindle singles, or they've been published at the back of the first paperback version of his, the novel that they led up to. And we have some fun ones like Kowalski's in Love, which was an anthology, with, I think that was a James Patterson anthology that was included in. And it is very much, it's Kowalski. It's my favorite character, being exactly who he is, and I loved it. We also get to see Tucker and Kane in Arizona, and some cool, time warp crystals. and one story that I refused to read because I went through like 2 pages and one of the doggies didn't get a happy ending. So, yep, nope. Slaughter all the humans, don't touch the doggies, or I'm done. So I skipped that one, but I loved all the rest of the stories. And we got something we usually don't get with his short stories. Hold on, go tuck in my little man. Apparently, he's got cold. He's done with me. He's got to go under the blankies. But, like, his novels, we always get a fact or fiction at the end. But the short stories are just kind of there. This time, we got an intro and a fact or fiction for every short story. So that was really amazing. And then I went through Kingdom of Bones because, dude, it just came out this year. And I finally got my copy. And I love it. It's amazing. I did a full review on that one if you want to check that one out. It's just... yeah, it's Sigma Force. They're scientists with guns running through the Congo jungle this year, and something very, timely done, because this time it's a virus that is mutating and trying to almost, like, hidden so that it can get worse, so some pricks, like, they might not have exactly purposefully created this, but they know about it, and they're making sure nobody else does, till they can exploit it to its full extent, and if a couple million people die, whatever, so long as he gets a few billion more dollars. So, yeah. We got a sleazebag that needs to be taken down. And of course he will be, in the best way possible. Again, it was one of those endings that was freaking satisfying. But there was a line in it that didn't make sense, because I was pretty sure it was opposite of something that he had written before. So I had to go and reread The Crucible, because that was what happened in that book. Well, what I remembered happening in that book contradicted one of his lines about somebody, making a little cameo in it that I thought was dead. And they weren't. I just didn't remember that full book. So I went back and read it, and second time around, I still love it. That one I will be giving you a review of this week. I just actually finished recording it, so I've just got to get them all uploaded. And it's basically, this one is of course the world is going to end, but this time it's due to all our tech advances of, we're going to create essentially, Ultron, and he's going to, without the Avengers to save us, he's going to be our new very angry, murderous god, and there will be no more humans. Unless we can make, like, a nice, friendly AI to take him out and protect us. So, we tried, and the bad guys wanted to take us back to, like, the 12th century, especially because this new AI was going to be created by and, look like a woman, and that was unacceptable to them. So, and there might have been, like, some personal things at stake as well in this novel, so I loved it. It was so much freaking fun, which figures, it's James Rollins. He's yet to write anything that I don't love. Some more than others, like Amazonia is still my all-time favorite by him, but like I said, nothing he does is bad if you like, science, history, a little religion tossed in, and a lot of action and globetrotting. And there's usually, the bad guy gets what's coming to him despite being, just gobs and gobs of money that no one could spend in 5 lifetimes. So, it doesn't matter who you are, you going down. And I love it. Bump the real world, punish the bad guys in a really fun way. And then I also read License to Bite by Carrie Pulkinen. This one was a Kindle Unlimited that Facebook was, spying on my reading habits and went, hey, you should like this one. And this might be, actually, I feel bad saying this, but it's probably going to end up on my, like, worst reads of the year list. It had a really amazing premise, and starting off, it had potential. It was mainly ruined by the main character, who in the beginning, she was, kind of spoiled brat, but she was, trying to at least slightly step away from that and have her own little, online travel blog thing to try to make a little money that wasn't just from her dad. By the end of it, she thinks the sun shines out of her own butt. And, she ends up being turned into a vampire, which, whatever. Except for we find that she will pretty much faint at the sight of blood and goes from wanting to climb the guy that turned her to she hates his guts. And he goes from, well, she died and I had to turn her because I was stalking her and freaked her out because she looks like my dead fiance, to why did I turn her? Can I just stake her myself? And I am rooting for him to do it. So, yeah, read this one at your own risk. It's tries to be funny. It's kind of sort of got totally unbelievable romance of they start off absolutely hating each other, and by the end, she doesn't change at all, but he decides that he's madly in love with her because constantly wanting to murder somebody apparently means they are your true love. Yeah, there might be some issues there, because, I read that at the beginning of the month, and I'm still scratching my head, mind-boggled over they only get worse, and you hate them more, so you're in love with them. Yep, okay. Apparently I'm romancing wrong, but I am okay with romancing wrong. And then another Kindle Unlimited I got into, I devoured this whole series in a week. It's the Rogue Ethereal series by Annie Anderson. And if you like supernatural entities, you will freaking love this series, because I don't care which one you like. Yeah, the werewolves, the vampires, the demons, the witches, they're all in there. Some are good, some are bad. Sometimes it's the one you expect that are the worst. I won't spoil that one for you, but you will find it out eventually if you get through the whole 6-book series like I did. And there's also a lot of, almost romance and mommy issues and daddy issues and making new friends and ditching old ones because they suck. There are murder mysteries, kind of. Like, we get a pretty good idea who did it. But then as we go along, it's like, they did it, but it wasn't really them. They were just kind of the hired help to... So, they didn't have to get their pretty little hands dirty. And it's fun. Like, one of the main things is trying to figure out what the heck the main character is. Because Max starts off thinking she's a witch, and then she's a witch-demon hybrid. But she's not, because her, immense power, like, nobody can friggin' touch her. It doesn't make sense for either group. Plus, she shouldn't be able to exist. Like, that breeding pair is not supposed to be able to actually, successfully breed. And, there she is. So, yep, that one, like, we just have the running mystery of what the heck is Max, and do we hate her parents? Do we love her parents? Do we hate and kind of love them? Like, what's going on with her family, her friends, her boyfriend, who's getting their butt kicked next, because she might have some abandonment and bully issues, and she does not stand for anybody picking on the little guy. Even if the little guy is, somebody she doesn't particularly like. That's not a fair fight. And you might outpower me, and I might die, but I ain't staying dead, so bring it on. Or, well, okay, I might finally stay dead. It's only been like 150 deaths in 400 years, and I'm still here. But if I go down, I'm taking you with me. So, I love her snark and her attitude. The plot lines are pretty good, and I like most of the characters, but it's basically the opposite of the last book I told you about, where the main character absolutely tanked the book for me. This one, the plot was kind of there, but mainly I was reading it because I love Max. Like, the main character is just amazing. So, go for it. That if you like urban fantasy, this one takes place this one's in America. She moves around a little bit, and we find out she really doesn't do well in New Orleans. She's more of like a Jersey girl. But we get to travel a little bit, get the little farm life on occasion, just chasing down incubuses, and get to go to Georgia and check out Savannah at one point. So you get to see a few different places in America and have some fun there. I also read Charmed by Jen Calonita, and if I'd been thinking, I would have grabbed that one as well as my James Rollins novels, because I have all of those in hardback, because why not? But Charmed is the second in the Fairy Tale Reform School series, and I didn't love it as much as the first book, which the reason I got this one because the first one was so friggin' good. So it's young adult. It is very childish. This is like middle schoolish age. But sometimes you just need to shut your brain off, be a small child, and go, my biggest stress is, did mommy pack what I liked for lunch? And I broke my favorite crayon. And this is a little bit older than that, but it's still fun to go from, crap, I gotta go to work because nobody wants to pay all my mortgage and bills for me. I keep trying, like, hey, I just want to stay home, read books, and pet my doggies, but apparently that's not a job. Yet, anyway. I'm gonna keep trying. So, ditch that, go be a little kid. And this one, we ended the last book on, Jillian and her buddies saving the princesses. But now everybody has forgot that it was anybody but Jillian that, ended up rescuing the princesses who she hates. Like, she is not a friggin' fan of royalty. But being a hero has definitely, it's gone to her head, but it's also done some good for her family, so she's more than happy to let this go on. And it continues the story of, she is in this fairy tale reform school where you've done a lot of bad things, and before you become a villain, we're gonna teach you to, behave, so you don't go fully down that path. And all the teachers are the former, fairy tale villains. We've got the big bad wolf, and Maleficent, and Ursula, and of course, they all go by different names, and we even get Blackbeard in this one, which is awesome. So, we're dealing with that, but it also is a little bit deeper. Like, they're dealing with, friendships and family and betrayals and, like, Jilly's little sister, because that's what everybody calls her, is Jilly, not Jillian. She is the shoemaker's daughter, and she got thrown into this school because she was stealing stuff. Like, her dad used to make the glass slippers, and the princesses said, we're gonna let Cinderella's godmother make the shoes now, so you have no business, y'all can't afford to eat. And so she's stealing food and, stole something for her little sister for her birthday and got busted. And so her little sister is mad that you're a thief and you don't like the princesses and I love them. So she won't speak to her, and of course Jilly's really upset because she loves her little sister, so we've got that going on of their, trying to mend fences and not exactly being able to stay out of trouble. And it's just a very, nice flowing book, but it deals with some kind of heavy-ish, issues. Like, we're dealing with school bullies and betrayals and all kinds of things. But it's still, the way it handles it is very accessible and fun. And that's Jen Calonita. I think some of this is on Unlimited, but I have the paperback version of it. Then, if you're lucky, your library will even have this one. And the other one, I also got into another, paranormal urban fantasy, but this one takes place in England, and it's the Other Wolf series that is currently only a trilogy, but she notes at the end that, depends what the fans like, what I write next, so it might end at 3 books. We might continue on with this story. And what it is a few months ago, I told y'all about The Other Realm by Heather G. Harris. And this is, it's exactly what it sounds like. There's, the realm that we all live in of non-magical mortal beings. And then the other realm with, magic and immortals, we got werewolves and dragons and, mermaids and unicorns and seers and just all kinds of stuff. And the main character is Jinx. And then she's got her best friend, Lucy, who, as you can guess by the series title and, that it's magical, Lucy is now a werewolf. And she is pretty much against her will, like the alpha of a pack, even though she's only been turned for a very brief time. And in each book, she cannot stay out of trouble. Somebody's always gunning for her and her pack. And it's like, she's supposed to be all the women hate me because I am just naturally the most gorgeous thing ever. But, it's not my fault. I can't help it if I'm gorgeous and all the guys want me, so all the girls hate me. And just, social butterfly, and now all of a sudden I'm with a bunch of violent ruffians and they all hate me. Except for my, second that I don't know if he wants to hook up or if he's hooking up with this other chicken. I'm not jealous. What? Don't look at me like that. So, yeah. We've got some cutesy, kind of romance and some, yes, I love my, Gucci dress and whatever else, but don't make me break a nail and come after you because I will take you down. Like, I might have morals, but the wolf in my head, she just wants to eat you for breakfast. Literally. And if I let her loose, she might. Because I love it. The first one is, she got turned into a werewolf to save her life because she was, unbeknownst to her, hooking up with an incubus. And, if y'all have a little fun a little too often, and you're mortal, it'll kill you. He knew it, he lied, and apparently killed 19 other women this way. So she decided to deliver some, wolfy justice, and also scare the crap out of her pack that thought she was just this dainty little princess that had no business there. And, oh, I'm a dainty little thing, huh? Well, he ain't gonna be doing that again anytime soon, like, ever, without some, help. She went, how shall we say, Lorena Bobbitt style on him. And, yeah, I'm a chick, so I freaking loved it. It's like, made all the guys cringe. And let's just say, they might not have respect her, but they feared her enough to behave a good bit after that. And we end up, some of the guys didn't exactly learn their lesson even after that and tried to backstab their ways a little bit. And there is some murder mystery to deal with in the first one, and it continues on, throughout. Somebody's always coming for her pack, be it, other werewolves, incubus, witch, ogre, griffin, dragons, whatever. There is something going on, and they want to take her out and take control. And she ain't having it. She figures out, especially like her wolf. I love her and her wolf talk to each other. And there is definitely a big gap in language and morals going on there. But somehow they make it work. And it's funny. It is badass. We get to see some really cool magical creatures and bits of London and, the surrounding areas, which, they didn't go to Hogwarts or anything, so missed opportunity. But there were some fun little, pop culture nods in there as well that I really enjoyed. So, if you like the supernatural and just want a very quick read, again, this was one that they're all on Kindle Unlimited, and I read all 3 in a weekend. So, yeah, that tells you something, and they're all like 300 oddish pages, and I devoured them. And the last book I read, I call it a book. It was only about 40-something pages. It's an author that I haven't read actually in quite a while, but she's got several series, and I've read 3 or so others, and this one, it's Ghostly Gift by Angie Fox. It's actually a little short story in between the first and second novel. I saw the title, it was a, Kindle freebie. Like, seems very, you know, appropriate for the Christmas season. And yeah, it wasn't about that. But what this series is basically this chick's business fails and she moves back home to her falling down house in this little small town where she was engaged to like the local, like, thinks she's the queen old lady's, son, until she caught him hooking up with somebody on their wedding day. So she understandably ditched him. But of course, mommy can't admit that her son isn't like the best thing in the world, and every girl should be lucky he even notices their existence to be part of my family. And has been doing everything in her power to ruin this chick. So, there's some issues there, and now she's kind of flirting with his brother, and they might be dating. Oops. Mommy don't need to know, and she can suck it if she finds out. But she also has a ghostly friend, because she ended up, there is this kind of ugly vase on the mantle, and she thought it was just ugly vase, needed some cleaning, dumped it out, and oops, it wasn't just a really ancient, dusty old vase, it was somebody's urn, and she dumped their ashes in the rose bushes outside. So now the ghost cannot leave the property because he is tied to his ashes. And I love it. It's Frankie, and he's like a 1920s gangster. Or at least that's what he pretends to be, but he's really a big old softy. And they have been, kind of sort of tasked with helping this, like, pawn shop owner get rid of her ghostly problem, because things keep moving and occasionally get broken in this one little occasionally. Well, I don't really have money, but if you get rid of my ghost problem, you have no furniture. You had to sell the last thing you owned to almost be able to pay off the electric bill last month. So I'll give you some furniture. And it turns out that the ghost is just, he found his, like, fiance's ring that he gave her at the pawn shop, and he's super upset about it. So our main character has made it her goal to find where this, like, what happened to this chick, why this ring is there, It's like, well, she's not dead, I know that, so, what's up? So she's searching all over, and, like, we're going to find this girl and reunite them for the holidays, and it's just a short, cutesy ghost story that it's much more heavily romantic. It feels like a, Hallmark story, but it was fun. So that's all that I finished for November. So I hope you will enjoy one of those, but I've also got some plans for December, which is I always read The Stupidest Angel by Christopher Moore, because, dude, who doesn't love Christopher Moore or a book called The Stupidest Angel? I mean, come on. It's a Christmas book that has zombies. Yeah. Like, enough said, but in case you want more, this is basically, it is true Christopher Moore style of, it is just, you would never freaking think of this in a million years, off the walls, crazy, a little raunchy and rude, but not totally over the top, and just fun. This takes place in Pine Cove, which is one of his little, series. And it starts off with some chick, broke up, with her ex-husband years ago, and it's a small town. Everybody knows everybody's business, and he's known as the evil developer. Everybody in town hates his guts aside from his little drunk lodge buddies. And he's dressed up as Santa for his little handing out joke adult gifts at this lodge party, and catches her digging up Christmas trees for those that can't afford them, and decides to try to kill her, but because he sucks, it doesn't go as planned, and he ends up being the one that's in the hole. And some little kid sees this, thinking it's, real Santa just got killed and Christmas is canceled. So, he wishes that, Santa was back and he wasn't, hosed. And our stupidest angel, it's his turn this year to do the Christmas miracle, and he says, all right, I'm gonna bring Santa back. And brings him back as a brain-eating zombie, because he's an idiot. So, yeah, this whole book is some stupid angel bringing, jerk Santa back as a brain-eating zombie outside of the lonely Christmas party at the church that is, of course, surrounded by a graveyard in the woods. And the chick that has, once again gone off her meds so that she can afford Christmas present for her gone off of his meds, stoner, constable husband, is the one to save the day, because without her meds, things ain't going right. So she's the only one that could really pick up what's going on, and she used to be known for a certain kind of film. So, she's got the metal, bikini and the sword that she actually knows how to use, and comes in handy when you're taking out a horde of zombies. But for all of this, we do get a happy ending, and it's friggin' hilarious, and I love it, and I hope you enjoy it as well. So I will definitely be reading that for December. And as always, I have 2 books that I'm currently reading right now. I always have a Kindle book and an actual book. And the actual book that I'm reading right now is Tith by Holly Black. Now, I have never heard of this author. One of my coworkers ordered a bunch of books online, and they messed up and sent her somebody's order and realized these are definitely not her style. So she gave them these, and, here, you like them? If not, pass them on. And I have a feeling I'm about halfway done with this. It's a young adult fairy novel, and our main character is apparently going to be the Tith, possibly. I'm not really sure what's going on with that yet. It's still it was nice and happy, but kind of weird, and then took a really dark turn, and needs a little bit of editing. That's kind of bugging me, but these will probably end up being passed on to the library unless something really amazing happens. But I've got a handful of her books, and currently what I'm reading on my Kindle is, as of recording this anyways, the 4-book omnibus from Jonathan Moeller in his Frostborn series is 99 cents. And if you like epic Tolkien level fantasy, go get this one. I think he actually has he has 4 other series, but I've never tried any of them. And they all have, 3 and 4 book omnibuses for 99 cents. So run out and grab those. Right now, I've read the prequel and the first book probably last year. Because I found them, the prequel was free, and I liked it enough that I got the next book while it was on, super sale, and the rest were $6 a pop. There weren't any other options at the time, and I didn't like it enough to pay $6 for an ebook, where I tend to kind of lose them in the shuffle of I have 400 something on there, and you're scrolling forever. No, I don't. I love ebooks for travel, but as far as trying to keep track of what I have and find it again, I like to just look at my bookshelves and go, yep, that one, that's what I want to read. I can glance and find it, and my brain functions better that way. So I don't do ebooks unless they're $2-3 or less, unless I just, oh my god, I am in love. But this one is really fun, especially, dude, 4 books for 99 cents, you can't pass that up. But this is, we've got men, we've got dwarves, we've got orcs, we've got wizards, we've got now this beastie, half human, half wolf at all times thing. We've got good elves, dark elves, some kind of shadow something or other, and a main character that has serious Aragorn vibes. And basically he used to be a knight, and things went wrong, and in protecting the, kingdom, he killed the bad guy, not knowing that the bad guy had tied himself to our hero's wife. So if he killed her, he killed his wife, who was the king's daughter. So yeah, that's had some serious repercussions, and so now he's wandering around as this exiled, Grey Knight, and he won't touch a sword. Like, his only weapon is he has a staff, and that's all he will use to defend himself, but he still is going around defending everybody and slowly amassing this little group of misfits that look to him as their leader. And what this is this Frostborn were supposed to be dead centuries ago. They've been extinct. But there was something happened in the sky that's, this design, they're coming back. And if we don't figure out how to stop them now, the entire world is doomed. So he is off on a mission to go figure out how to save the world, while everyone goes, you're insane, that's never gonna happen, they don't exist, like, King killed them hundreds of years ago, or whatever. Like, you were kicked out of your, sword-wielding knightly order, and they branded your face to prove that you're, a coward. And so everybody just, looks down on him as absolute trash. Except for, the dwarf friar, the, magical chick that, yes, he saved her life, and she is now apparently the key to stopping all of this, except for she doesn't remember it because she put herself to sleep 2 centuries ago and told the people in charge of, watching her to never tell her anything about her past. So, I kind of get it, kind of don't why she did that, but yeah, she should have had some, don't tell me anything unless X, Y, Z happens. She forgot that part, so now she's trying to figure out exactly who she is, how powerful she is, and the bad guy is out to, kill her before she can get powerful enough to whoop his butt. And we have an orc that has also decided to ditch his, evil people and follow our Grey Knight, Ridmark. And now he's got this adorable little, knight in training wannabe 15-year-old that, he randomly found in the woods that was, I'm surrounded by these werewolf things that are gonna kill me, but stand back, I'll defend them while you run. You've got a stick. No. You get your butt back there with, these other guys that you're terrified of, and I will go fight them. So now this little kid absolutely, I will do anything you say, Ridmark, and just follows him everywhere. And they're currently off on a quest to this evil dark elf lair to figure out a few things. And I'm not sure what the next book is going to be about, since I read the prequel and I'm on the second book, but I'm feeling I'm going to rush through the third book as well. It is, so far, I'm only about a third of the way in, and I am loving it. So I'm definitely going to read those, and I am planning that I downloaded a book by Leslie Langtree, who, if you don't know her, she writes murder mysteries and a straight up an assassin series that is freaking hilarious. But the murder mystery I just downloaded, I think she's on book 23, and I'm not sure which number this one is, but it was on sale 2 weeks ago, and I had to have it, so I will be reading that one. It's a former CIA assassin got outed by a, jealous backstabbing CIA guy, or no, it was a senator that was opposing her senator father, and he outed her, so now she's had to, relocate and, change her identity, and now she's a Girl Scout troop leader to the most dangerous, maniacal girls you have ever met. They're all about tying people up and, knife throwing and learning their poisons, and, you do not want to tick off these little girls, and they're only 11 years old. And she keeps stumbling across dead bodies, sometimes with them, and the little girls like to try to help solve the murders, and are a little too gung-ho enough to be told, no, you do not get to help me off the murderer. Bad. Your mom will be mad. You have to go take your little footy pajamas and go home. So it's freaking hilarious, and that will be the next ebook that I read. So I know I will get through those. Whatever else I read for December, if I get through anything else, I have no idea, but you will be getting reviews on those. So I hope some of that sounds amazing and you enjoy it. And I will see you soon. Bye. Happy reading.